Let me ask you something. What if I told you the version of you that gets everything they ever wanted? The money, the peace, the respect, is not waiting for some perfect day to show up. They are built in the dark. The days you feel like doing nothing, the days when no one is watching and no one is clapping. That is where the real transformation happens. Greatness is not built on the days you feel great. Doing one push-up, writing one sentence, smiling when you want to cry, that is still progress. That is still placing a brick. It does not even care if Mercury is in retrograde and your cat knocked over your favorite coffee mug this morning. But when it comes to building your goals, your life, your future, your emotions are not the CEO. Discipline is. You do not brush your teeth every day because you feel like it. Even if it is 40%. Even if it is 10%. Even if all you have to give today is simply not quitting. That is how real change happens. Not from feeling amazing, but from being committed even when you do not. So next time you feel lazy, discouraged, or drained, remind yourself, this is not about how I feel right now. This is about who I want to become. Discipline does not ask how you feel. It just asks, are you still in the game? You do it because the consequences of skipping are nasty. That is discipline. You do not pay your bills because it is fun. You do it because the alternative is having the lights cut off mid-Netflix binge. Same thing with your goals, whether it is building a business, losing weight, writing a book, or changing your life. Discipline shows up even when motivation ghosted you. Discipline is like that unbothered coach on the sideline yelling, I do not care what is hurting, keep running. It is kind of savage. But that is why it works. Feelings are temporary. Results are not. Over time, that compound effort creates a life that looks nothing like where you started. Your dream does not care how you feel today. It only cares whether or not you showed up for it. So lace up, take the step, make the call. When things get hard, it is not motivation that saves you. It is discipline. As motivation says, let us work out today. If the vibe is right, discipline says, we work out, period. How motivation says, let us write that chapter. If we are feeling creative, discipline says, we write. Even if it is garbage today, we write. The ones who pass everyone else are not the most talented. They're just the most consistent. Even if it is messy, even if it is small, I just show up. It is built on the days you feel broken, but you show up anyway. Athletes know this. Artists know this. Even your favorite entrepreneur, the one smiling on Instagram? Yes, they have 3 a.m. breakdowns too, but they keep showing up. They understand something powerful. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. And showing up when it is hard, that is a habit that separates the talkers from the doers. And if you are tired of starting over, if you are done quitting, this is your reminder to show up every single day, no matter what. Let us be real for a second. We all have those mornings where getting out of bed feels like lifting a truck. The alarm clock rings, and your brain goes, absolutely not. We are not doing life today. Discipline is the friend who shows up when you are crying in sweatpants, eating cereal out of the box at 2 a.m., wondering what the heck you are doing with your life. Imagine your dream life is like a wall made of bricks. Every single day you show up, whether you feel like it or not, you are placing one brick. Some days the brick is crooked, some days it is cracked. Some days it looks like a toddler slapped it on with peanut butter. But it is a brick, and it is on the wall. Now imagine skipping days. Imagine letting your emotions decide when you place that brick. You might end up with a wall that is half finished, full of holes, and definitely not strong enough to stand on. But here's the secret nobody tells you. Those are the most important days of your life. Not the days where motivation hits you like a wave and you are ready to run through walls. No, that is easy. It is the days where your body is tired, your mind is foggy, and your soul is like no. That is when you build something real. Why? Because that is when it counts. That is when your future self is watching you the most. Motivation is like that flaky friend who only shows up when things are fun. But discipline. But if you show up daily, even when it is raining, even when you are tired, even when it feels pointless, that wall becomes a fortress. You do not have to be a superhero every day. Some days, Showing up just means sending one email. Let us make something clear right now. Discipline is not interested in your feelings. It does not care if you are tired. It does not care if you are stressed. We are told to listen to our emotions, and yes, there is a place for that. Motivation is a car with no fuel, shiny but unreliable. Discipline, that is the ugly little hatchback that gets you there, rain or shine. Discipline does not mean doing everything perfectly. It just means doing something consistently. You do not need to win the day. Just show up and give what you have got. One of the most painful, most frustrating, and most misunderstood parts of self-improvement is this. You will give your all, and at times, absolutely no one will notice. No likes, no applause, no validation. You will put your heart into the gym, and there will be no transformations to post. You will stay up all night building your business, and no one will say thank you. You will pass on parties to work on your craft, and no one will congratulate your discipline. It is just silence. And that silence can feel brutal. You plant seeds, but nothing grows. Show up day after day, and it feels like you are getting nowhere. But that is not true. You are not failing. You are just early. Greatness always starts in silence. Most people do not survive that silence. You will ask yourself, why am I doing this if no one sees it? If no one cares? It is tall, fast-growing, strong. But here is the part no one talks about. For the first 5 years, bamboo does not break the ground. 5 years, underground. No progress above the surface. People look at the soil and assume it is dead. Because if praise is your only source of energy, the moment it is gone, so is your drive. That is why some people never finish. Because they depend on external motivation to carry internal goals. But when the crowd leaves, when the lights dim, when it is just you and your doubts, that is when your real character is revealed. But what is happening underneath is incredible. Roots are growing deep, anchoring, expanding, building a foundation strong enough to support explosive growth. Celebrate the silent victories. Hype yourself up in the mirror. Be proud of the work no one sees. That 5 a.m. wake up, clap for it, because you will already know who you are. You will know the hours you put in. The sacrifices you made, the tears no one saw, you will have already validated yourself. That extra rep in the gym, clap for it. That journal entry, that call you did not want to make, that time you chose the grind over the comfort, clap for that, because all those small wins are the roots. That is what makes you unshakable later. And then in year 6, it suddenly grows 80 feet in just weeks. If you stop showing up just because the world is not clapping, you rob yourself of the breakthrough that was coming. They are sacred. They are where champions are made. But that question reveals something deeper. Are you doing it for validation or for transformation? Because if you are doing it for claps, cheers, and high fives, you are going to quit the moment things get quiet. That is louder than any applause could ever be. But if you are doing it because you believe in who you are becoming, you will keep going. Even when nobody claps. Even when it feels like you are sprinting in a vacuum. See, the beginning of every great journey is awkward, slow, and almost always invisible. Let me tell you about bamboo. You know the plant that is you. You are bamboo. You are not stuck. You are rooted. You are not invisible. You are incubating. You are not late. You are loading. But here's the catch. If you stop watering the bamboo before it breaks the surface, you never get to see it grow. Applause is nice, feels good, but it is not fuel. It cannot be your engine, so you have to learn how to clap for yourself. And here's the beautiful part. When the world finally does clap, when the success starts to show, you will not even need it anymore, so keep showing up. Even when no one claps, even when no one texts back, even when the mirror does not reflect the results yet, because the quiet seasons are not empty. You are not just building a result, you are becoming the kind of person who shows up for their future. And that is louder than any applause could ever be. Ever feel like you are falling behind? Like everyone else is crossing finish lines, signing deals, buying homes, starting families, and you are just stuck? Like you are standing in place while the whole world runs laps around you? Let me tell you something straight from the fire. You are not behind. You are being forged. There is a massive difference between being delayed and being developed. Think of a sword. It does not leave the fire battle ready. It is raw, rough, useless in its early form. To become something powerful, it has to be put through the fire again and again. It has to be pounded, bent, reshaped, sharpened. That process, it is brutal. It is hot, it is loud. It is uncomfortable, and yet it is necessary. But what if it is not failure? What if it is formation? That sword is you. You are in the messy middle, the part of the story where nothing makes sense yet, and everything feels uncertain. But here's the secret. That middle chapter is where the main character is built. The one where confidence is forged, not handed out. The part nobody posts on Instagram, but everyone, even your heroes, has walked through. You are not being punished, you're being prepared. That job rejection, that heartbreak, that season of waiting, it all feels unfair. The truth is, you are not stuck. The people you admire most did not skip the fire. They just let it shape them. They leaned into the pain, the doubt, the silence, and came out stronger. You are learning how to carry the weight of the life you said you wanted. You are not late. There is no universal clock ticking you into failure. Not the highlight reels, not the wins, not the emotional speeches or the trophy moments. I am talking about Tuesday afternoons, repeated routines, the same tasks, over and over and over again. That is where the real work lives. That is where champions are made. You prayed for strength. Now you are in a situation that requires it. And some days, you will feel like a soggy piece of toast trying to power through life. Consistency beats intensity every time. Champions do not rise from hype. They rise from habit. But the ones who win, they do not wait for motivation. They move through it. They train when it is boring. They show up when it is raining. They push forward when the emotions are gone, and that is exactly why they win. You become great by doing something average, consistent, and borderline dull every single day without fail. It is built on discipline. It is built in the moments when you are tired of showing up. It is built in the silence, in the solitude, in the mornings when nothing feels special. Imagine someone brushing their teeth every day. Not thrilling, right? But skip it for 2 weeks, and now we have a problem. That is self-improvement in a nutshell. Boring, necessary, non-negotiable. Let us be honest. Most of us love the idea of transformation, but hate the reality of repetition. They do push-ups when no one is watching. They read the extra page. They write the extra sentence. They go to bed early when everyone else is binge-watching one more episode. Why? Because they understand that boredom is not the enemy. It is actually proof you are building something long-term. When the habit becomes boring, it means it is becoming automatic. When it becomes automatic, that is when transformation sticks. We want results, but we crave variety. We want to change, but we want it to feel exciting all the time. You asked for growth. Now you are facing discomfort that pushes it. You would not be able to hold it. You would drop the dream because you never developed the strength to carry it. You wished for purpose, and now you are being shown who you are through resistance. Because if you got everything you wanted right now without this preparation, so breathe. You are not behind. You are becoming. You are not overlooked. You are being sharpened. This is not the end of your story. It is the heat before the reveal. And when you walk out of this fire, forged and unshakable, you will realize you are not falling behind at all. You are just catching up to your true strength. Here's the part of success no one glamorizes. It is boring. Do not become great by doing something amazing once. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Success is not built on excitement. Champions, they train through boredom. Here's the secret. You will not always be motivated. You will not always be inspired. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "This is getting old," remember, that is the path. Consistency beats intensity every time. Champions do not rise from hype, they rise from habit. Let us be real. We all have excuses. I am too tired. I will start tomorrow. It is not the right time. They sound so reasonable. Every time you ignore the voice that says skip it, you add one more rep to your self-discipline. That is how progress really works. It's not in leaps, not in sudden explosions. In small moments, excuses will keep coming, but so will your ability to crush them. And the version of you that stays standing, that is the one who becomes unstoppable with discipline, because your feelings will not always back you up. Because every single day you show up, no matter what, you are becoming unstoppable. And ask yourself, what would the stronger version of me do today? It is built brick by the people who had every reason to quit but showed up anyway. Then go do that, even if it is small, even if it is messy. Just show up. And no one clapped, because applause is not fuel. While feeling behind because you are not late, you are being forged through the boring days, because real champions train in silence. And in the face of excuses, because every time you say no to quitting, you grow stronger. Micro wins. A decision to act when it is easier to wait. Think of your excuses like bricks in a wall. I do not have time. I am not ready. I might fail. Each excuse is a brick keeping you stuck. But every time you show up, despite it, you knock one brick down, not the whole wall. Just one. So logical, so safe. But underneath them lies fear. Excuses are fear wearing a business suit, pretending to make sense. They are the clever way your comfort zone negotiates with your dreams. Ever studied when Netflix was calling your name? Ever finished a task just because you promised yourself you would? That is resistance training. That is grit. That is character. They sound like self-care, but often they are just self-sabotage in disguise. Here is a different way to see it. Every excuse you push through today becomes inner strength tomorrow. And slowly, light starts to break through. A little more every day. Until one day, you walk straight through it. Excuses are reps in reverse. They do not build you, they shrink you. But when you push back, you grow stronger. It is like going to the gym and lifting resistance. Only this time, the weight is mental. We're not just building muscle, you're building willpower. The more you resist excuses, the easier it becomes. The more you choose action, the more powerful you feel. And slowly, the excuses that used to derail you, they start to disappear. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Want a quick example? Ever gone for a walk when your body screamed to stay on the couch? And here's the best part. It snowballs. So the next time an excuse creeps in, smile, because that is your next training session, is your next opportunity to grow. Let us bring it all together. Its entire journey, all 6 parts, was never about perfection. It was about showing up. On the days you did not feel like it because your future is built there, you do not need to leap. You just need to move. You do not need to feel like a beast. You just need to take the next small step. So here is the challenge, right now. Put your phone down, stand up, look in the mirror. Because in the end, greatness is not born from motivation. That person is you.